Guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, we are going to be talking about beauty trends that I cannot get enough of, and also beauty trends that I have had enough of. I was inspired to make this video because I recently pre-filmed my next favorites video, which will be going live next week, and I realized that there are all of these new product categories that I am completely obsessed with that I either just didn't really care about before or actually actively disliked. So I was like, why don't I just make this a video where I talk about the 6 beauty trends that I am really loving right now, but also throw in 6 beauty trends that I am not loving to make it a little more interesting. But before we jump into that, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and drop a comment below letting me know a beauty trend that you are either loving or not loving right now. Thank you so much for doing those things. It really helps to support me with the YouTube algorithm, so I appreciate you so much for doing that. And if you need anything from me, you know the drill, check out my description box below. I have Lightroom preset filters for editing your Instagram photos, my SPF merch, timestamps, discount codes, and links to my favorite beauty products of all time. All right, let's talk beauty trends. All right, let's start off with the 6 beauty trends that I don't love, and then we'll end the video on a high note with the trends that I do love. But I feel like I should just really quickly say that these are, of course, just my own personal opinions. The point of this video is for fun, for commentary, and nothing I say should be taken too seriously or heavily. So if I happen to mention a trend that I'm not into, that you are into, that you really love, please don't take it personally. It's nothing personal. Don't be offended. We all have different preferences when it comes to beauty, and that's totally okay. That is what makes beauty fun, I think. So with all of that being said, the first trend that I have had enough of, that I've actually never liked, I've never gotten on board with, I've always felt confused by, are bleached eyebrows. When I reviewed 2022 beauty trend predictions back in January, all of the major beauty magazines and brands were predicting the return of the super ultra thin 90s brow. That terrified me when I was seeing all of those predictions, and I definitely have seen some people rocking a thinner brow look, but I feel like this never fully took off in the way that it was expected to. Like when it comes to eyebrows, fluffy defined brows are still definitely much more popular than a really thin brow. Like I rarely see anyone with the pencil thin eyebrow, maybe celebrities, but that's kind of it. So after realizing that that 90s brow trend was not going to fully take off, let's just say that this is the last place I expected brow trends to pivot to. And there are different levels of this. I've seen some people do this where it's kind of just like a little bit of a lighter overlay on their natural brow color, like an overall lighter look. I think that that can actually be really pretty and flattering. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about eyebrows that are so bleached that you basically cannot even see them. Like the transparent eyebrow. This is just, in my opinion, a tough look for anyone to pull off. It's one of those things where even the supermodeliest supermodels look a little bit like a naked mole rat alien with this kind of look, in my humble opinion. I feel like it's tough. I don't love it. I've never understood it, but I continue to see it. I'm like, are more people gonna do this? I'm seeing it all over TikTok where people are bleaching their eyebrows at home. Stresses me out. I feel like this is definitely going to be one of those trends where one day we all look back and are like, what in the actual heck were we thinking? You know, it's gonna be one of those. I really don't see this trend having a long lifespan. All right, next up is self-tan contour. If you're not familiar with this trend, it's basically exactly what it sounds like. It's taking self-tanner and applying it to the contours of the face or anywhere where you would apply bronzer, so that after it develops, you can just have kind of a natural looking tan or contour without the use of makeup. I will say that I don't actually hate this. I think if it's done right, it can look really pretty and can be such a nice, I don't know, look to complement a true like no makeup look. Just a clear brow gel, a lip oil, a little bit of self-tan contour. That can look beautiful, but I have seen it go wrong. It can go wrong. I will say that as well. If you are using a self-tanner that doesn't really complement your natural skin tone very well, if you apply too much product accidentally, if you don't blend it enough, it can end up looking just really harsh and unnatural and intense, which obviously defeats the purpose of the trend. So that's one issue that I have with it, but it's actually not the biggest issue. The biggest issue that I have with this trend is that I can't participate in it. In a video that I posted recently where I talk all about a bunch of my beauty secrets that I of course will list in the description box below, by the way, I explained to you guys that I don't apply self-tanner to my face because tretinoin causes it to fade and go patchy really, really quickly. So this is a trend that would not only be a waste of time for me because of how quickly it would fade, it's also a trend that would not look good on me because of how patchy it would go with the use of tretinoin. So I'm definitely a little bit salty that I can't participate in this, even though there's nothing that I would do to give up tretinoin and the effects that it's had on my skin. Not even a little bit of self-tan contour. So if you're like me and you are a loyal tretinoin user and you will not give it up for anything, then a product that I would recommend checking out that I actually think has a similar effect on the face is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. That is a product that launched a few months ago. It's like a really light coverage, balmy product that just looks super natural on the face. So it's not going to give you an intense bronzer contour. It's just something natural and I think looks perfect on those no makeup days because of how light it is in coverage. So check that out if you are not able to participate in this trend either. Otherwise, if you are, I am jealous. I'm a little jealous. The next trend that I have had enough of is the clean girl aesthetic trend. If you're not familiar with this one, it includes a lot of different elements. The first being very minimal makeup, so no foundation, really nothing on the skin in that sense, but usually a little bit of concealer, a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of blush, just a very natural looking makeup look with fluffy defined brows and a really juicy lip. A lot of the times I see this with a very low slicked back bun with a middle part or a slicked back middle part jaw clip twist situation, and typically always some sort of gold jewelry, maybe earrings, necklaces, rings, bracelets, or all of those things. And again, kind of similar to self-tan contour, I don't actually hate this. I think that the look itself can look so beautiful on so many different people, but I feel like the people that made this look go viral in the first place have very, very fluffy, defined, full brows and really, really full, large lips, whether naturally or not. And I have neither of those things. I don't know about you guys, but this look just does not seem to do it for me in the way that it does it for other people. There's just something about having very sparse, uneven brows and average size lips that I think doesn't make this look hit in the way that it hits for a lot of other people. So I'm kind of salty about this one too, even though I do have a couple problems with it. Number one, the low, slicked, super tightly pulled bun. I'm not gonna lie, that gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. Obviously, wearing a hairstyle like that every now and then is no big deal, but doing that every single day is begging for breakage. And not to mention, I also just don't love the connotation of trying to look like a clean girl. I feel like there's something inherently snooty about that, and it's also something that I could not identify less with. Like, I don't know, for me, there's a really big difference between enjoying glam and trying to look clean. Like, if I had a choice between identifying as a clean girl or a dirty girl, I identify as a dirty girl 100%. Like, dirty sweatpants all the time, hair a mess, typically no makeup is how you'll find me. So this is just something that, yeah, I don't personally identify with. I don't love the idea, the meaning, the message behind this trend. But again, I know that, you know, that aside, it's something that can look so beautiful on so many different people. And I know that there are a lot of you watching that can pull off this look beautifully. So if you can, I'm jealous. Keep doing you, girl. All right, the next trend is actually something that I often see paired with the clean girl aesthetic. It seems to be the way that a lot of people like to achieve that super slicked middle part low bun look, and it's by creating an Olaplex bun. I have seen a few different variations of this, but I think the most common is to first get the hair wet with water, a leave-in conditioning spray, even Olaplex number 0. Then second, applying a generous amount of Olaplex number 3 all over the hair. And third, finishing up with some sort of oil like the Olaplex number 7 oil or really any oil from any brand. And then using all of that product to slick back the hair and create a low bun. This is just one of those trends that doesn't really make sense to me from an efficacy standpoint. I hate to be that girl, but I gotta be that girl. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and because of that, it feels like a waste of product for a few different reasons. First, first is because whenever I see people doing this, it seems to usually be midweek after washing, or at the very least the day after washing, after they've already applied all of their leave-in conditioning products, after they've styled. This is something that I'll see people do the day after or a few days after, meaning they already have product sitting in the hair and coating the hair, and that product is just ultimately going to prevent Olaplex No. 3's bond repair ingredient or any damage repair ingredient from penetrating the hair and working effectively. In order to see maximum results from products like this, you want to apply them on clean hair. You want to have a clean slate so that they have the best chance to actually penetrate the hair. So applying No. 3 on top of hair that already has that product in it is not the best way to see the best results. The second reason why this just doesn't make a ton of sense to me is because Olaplex No. 3 actually stops working on your hair once your hair is dry. So once you get your hair wet and apply Olaplex No. 3, especially because you're just misting it here, it's not the same as getting it completely drenched and wet in the shower. When it dries up, there's literally no reason for Olaplex No. 3 to be in your hair anymore. It doesn't work. It doesn't serve any further benefit. That's something that the brand has actually told me directly themselves in the past. So that's another reason why this just doesn't make sense. You don't need Olaplex No. 3 sitting in your hair if it's dry. It's not doing anything for you. And in my opinion, when you're applying it in this way with a really generous amount of product, I feel like it just makes your hair feel gross, like it has a lot of buildup on it. I don't know if that's just me, but I have tried to apply Olaplex No. 3 midweek before, and I feel like once it dries, it just feels like there's gunk in my hair, like it's heavy and dirty. So that's the third reason why I don't love this trend. So with all of that being said, that's why this is a trend that I don't participate in. I just don't really think it makes sense. It would be a waste of my money to do this, especially because Olaplex No. 3 is not a conditioning product. It's not designed to condition your hair. So if I'm applying product midweek, I want it to actually condition my hair. But I feel like you could achieve this same look, like a slicked back low bun, with oil. Like you could ditch No. 3 altogether and get the same kind of look. So I don't know, for me, this one's not it. Second to last is a product category trend that I don't even know if I would fully call it a trend yet, but that I feel is turning into a trend. I'm starting to see it more and more, slowly but surely, and it's freaking me out. And that is the launch of really, really creamy foundations in jars. For why? I really do not understand this at all. I feel like there's no benefit to this. If you're going to get the product out by using your fingers, that to me is gross, like sticking fingers in a jar. Even if you wash your hands, I feel like that's just messy. And I hear a lot of you in the back of my head saying, well, you can just use a spatula to get the product out. And yeah, you can, but that is still messy in my opinion and so unnecessary, like dunking a spatula, putting it on your face, then you got a dirty spatula. Like I just feel like, again, it's so unnecessary and I would so much rather just have foundation in a bottle with a pump. So we saw this with the Jones Road Beauty What the Foundation. Lancome actually also just announced that they're coming out with a foundation like this. And again, it's starting to scare me. I don't want this to be the new thing for foundations. I don't want foundations to be released like this. I don't want to buy products like this. I don't want it in my collection. The less mess, the better. I am already messy enough as is. This is the last thing I need in my collection. All right, the last trend that I have had enough of that I think is gonna offend some people, because I know people love these products, but I've had enough of them, and that's illuminating primers. Hear me out. When these products are used in moderation, like mixed in with foundation or applied to the high points of the face, like the cheekbone and above the brow, I think that they can look absolutely beautiful and just really, really luminous and radiant in such a nice way. But it's when these products are used heavily in place of foundation, and when I say heavily, I mean applied heavily, like with a lot of product, that's when I feel like this just starts to look very intense. Like to me, there's a really big difference between skin that looks like it has a healthy glow from within and skin that looks like it has a glow from without. You know what I mean? At least on me, when I use products like this in place of foundation and apply enough so that I have even consistent coverage, it's not my best look. I feel like it really emphasizes my pores, it really emphasizes texture, and it looks like I just applied highlighter all over my face. It's just too much. I don't need to have reflective pigments all over my face, you know? And then on top of that, as the day goes on, I feel like this just emphasizes my oils and makes my skin look even oilier and even greasier. And obviously I'm biased because I have oily skin. And these can obviously, again, look so beautiful on people, especially on anyone with dry skin. But I just feel like this is a product that should be used in moderation, and people are starting to go a little bit overboard with it. I mean, your preference for makeup is none of my business, but my personal preference is that I don't feel like looking like I have glitter all over my face. That's just me. All right, let's move on to the 6 beauty trends that I cannot get enough of, that I am so in love with. The first being sheer, glossy, really juicy looking lips. First of all, you guys knew this already. Y'all knew this because I cannot stop talking about lip looks like this that are sheer to light in coverage and really glossy. I think there's something so beautiful and flattering about it, and so much more flattering than a really full coverage opaque matte lip. That's just, again, my own personal opinion. I think it's freaking stunning. So I cannot stop wearing products like this. Hold on. I have a handful right here that I'm obsessed with. So obviously the Makeup by Mario Lip Serum, that is a fan favorite product. They have so many different shades now. They're continuing to launch new shades. The 2 that I have here are Mauve Glow and Plum Glow. They are stunning. I'm definitely going to be buying more from some of their launches, but I'm waiting until they all come out. So that is a gorgeous product. The Fenty Slip Shine lipstick, so beautiful, just sheer. It's the perfect amount of color pigment without it being too much. The NARS sheer lipsticks, oh my freaking heck. I feel like no one talks about these, but they are stunning. I have the shade Dolce Vita, which I think is the most beautiful, rosy, kind of slightly, I'm just gonna call it rosy, sheer lip. I used this on my best friend when I did her makeup for her wedding day, and she looked like a literal angel is what I was gonna say. And then last is the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss Lip Balm in the shade Pillow Talk. So any sort of sheer lip product or tinted balm is what I'm talking about. I think they're so pretty. And then because I'm extra, will typically top those off with some sort of gloss or lip oil on top of it. So you guys know me, I love to make lip combinations where I kind of manipulate colors by adding different colored glosses on top. I have an entire lip combination video that I will list below for you, but a lot of the times I do just like to use a sheer gloss on top so that I don't change the color. So my current favorite sheer gloss is the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Chill, which is completely clear, even though I've kind of gotten it a little pink from all my lip product. But this one is so good and just makes, I'm struggling to talk today, makes your lips look so juicy. Oh my gosh. Next is colorful eyeliner. This is something that I've really been enjoying for a while. I kind of forgot about it, but then recently remembered that I love colored eyeliner so much because I feel like it's such a fun way to add something different to a look, but in a way that is more minimal and toned down than a really colorful, full-on blended eyeshadow look. You know what I'm talking about? Like up to the brow bone, 50 different colors. There's a big difference between that and just a really simple colored eyeliner. Even though I have seen a lot of people rocking very, you know, graphic, fun designs on the eye with colorful looks, I think that that's super fun and cool, but I'm just too chicken to do that. So I've been sticking to my usual wing. I'm actually wearing colored eyeliner right now. It is the L'Oreal Infallible Precision Felt Grip Eyeliner. They have it in blue and green and other shades. And what I like about these is that they're deeper colors. So I think there's just something a little bit more, I don't know if natural is the right word, but wearable about deeper colors like this, because I feel like a lot of the times they're closer to, you know, like an actual eye color. And so it just complements your eyes well, in my opinion. So I'm wearing the blue one today. I think it's really pretty. I feel like looking in the viewfinder, I can't even tell that I have blue eyeliner on. Like up close you obviously can, but it's not like, oh, that's blue eyeliner. It's just like, oh, why do your eyes look so blue today? That's why. But if I don't use a felt tip liner, the other way that I like to get a colored liner look is by using eyeshadow. So really any eyeshadow palette works, any eyeshadow color. One that I have used in the past that I think is really good is just the classic Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, because there's a lot of shades that are kind of similar to those felt eyeliners where they're a little bit darker, a little bit more wearable, but also some fun bright shades. So whenever I'm using eyeshadow to create a wing, I like to use the EIG Show angled eyeliner brush. I've tried so many different eyeliner brushes. Nothing is as good as this, I swear to you. But then also, if I am wearing colored eyeliner, I like to apply it with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, because I feel like that just helps to bring the color to life more. And I don't know, it's something that I think is prettier than applying without, even though I don't do that for brown eyeliner. I don't know why that is. For colors, I like to use Fix Plus. For brown and black, I don't. I don't know. That's just my little sneaky technique. Do what works for you, obviously. Next is Bright Liquid or Cream Blush. This is a product category that I used to actively dislike because I felt like every cream or liquid blush that I tried just looked greasy on my cheeks, and kind of similar to what I was saying about the Illuminating Primers, emphasized my texture, emphasized my pores, and actually looked unnatural on me. I don't really know what it is about applying products like that on skin that leans oily, but I feel like it just doesn't look right. So I never liked cream and liquid blush because I hadn't found products that worked well with my skin. But now that I have, I cannot get enough. Oh my gosh, I love so much. I just think there is something very, very beautiful about a cream or liquid blush that has kind of a satiny finish. So not super dewy and shiny, but not completely matte, like just in between that satiny look. I think it's very, very pretty. And especially when you pair it with these kind of like everyday pink shades, come on. So a product I've talked about a ton at this point that I love, that you're also going to see in my favorites video, spoiler alert, is the NARS Liquid Blush in the shade Orgasm. This is unbelievably stunning. It is so pretty, just the most perfect wearable pink. Such an amazing formula that lasts all day long. Also, of course, the Rare Beauty liquid blushes. I personally love the shade Encourage. So, so pretty. You guys can see there's obviously a theme here. I love a wearable pink. And my latest favorite, which is actually what I'm wearing right now, is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush in the shade Maui. Oh my God, I really hope they come out with more shades in this luminous putty blush formula, because this is so good. Unreal. Might be the best cream blush that I've ever tried, because those I would consider to be more liquids, like in this kind of form. It's that good and so cheap. The next trend, oh my gosh, that I love so much that I don't know how I used to live without, is body glow, or applying illuminating products to the décolleté area of the body. Why do I always get so weird when I say that word? But I feel like I can never wear clothes that leave that area exposed, like a dress to a wedding, not a wedding dress, like as a guest, things like that, events. I feel like I can never go anywhere like that or wear anything that leaves that area open again without applying body glow, because that is how insanely beautiful this looks. It's so eye-catching. It makes it look like you have that fresh kind of vacation bronze without the sun damage, of course. So I have two products here that are my personal favorite right now. I am currently really into the look of just the like illuminated, radiant glow versus something that is really, really oily, like especially as we're transitioning into fall coming up here soon. I don't want to look like super oily anymore. I just want that soft kind of luminance. So the first product is the Supergoop Glow Screen Body Sunscreen. It's an SPF 40. It's basically the exact same thing as their Glow Screen for the face, but I like it even better on the body. I think it's so freaking yummy when you apply it to this area. Makes your collarbones pop, nothing better. But if you want a drier kind of stick type product for this purpose, then these Dibs Status Sticks, that's what they're called, right? Yes. In Good Life Gold and High Road Highlight are phenomenal. Oh my God. So this is something that I love. It's just so easy to apply. You swipe it all over wherever you want to apply it. And when you rub it in, it just gives you the most stunning, natural, well, not always natural. You can really make this look intense if you want to. And if you want to, do it. But if you rub it in and blend it in, it just looks really natural. Oh, it's like ethereal. There's something really magical about these. You have to try them if you haven't. All right, the second to last trend that I have been loving is not necessarily a new trend, but it's something that I feel like I continue to see with the very trendy, aesthetic, get ready with me videos on TikTok, and that is applying a facial mist in your skincare routine. This is a product category that I used to think was completely unnecessary. I was like, I'll never mess with that. And while I still do think it's unnecessary, like I'm never going to go as far as to say you need to do this in your skincare routine. For me, this is something that I can't get enough of right now for a couple different reasons. Number one, it just feels so nice and calming and refreshing. It's a nice experience in your skincare routine. We could all use 60 seconds of relaxation in our life. At least I could. But also, if I apply this after cleanser, before serum, I feel like it just makes my skin look extra hydrated and plump and dewy. There's something about applying a mist like this with really nice hydrating ingredients and then putting a serum on top that really brings the skin to life. So if you feel like your skin is looking dull or dehydrated, I highly recommend trying this step. It's a game changer for me. So I have 3 products here, all of which I have talked about before. The first is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist. So beautiful, has Centella Asiatica, just some really nice, gorgeous ingredients for the skin. Second is one that is very basic. It's the La Roche-Posay Thermal Spring Water. So it's literally just their thermal spring water, but it is a really nice natural source of antioxidants. It's calming, it's soothing, it's refreshing, it's hydrating. So love that one. And then last is the Bioma Balancing Face Mist, which contains ceramides, probiotics, allantoin, just a lot of nice ingredients that hydrate, calm, soothe, and protect the skin barrier. So those are just a few of my favorites. If there's more that you guys think I should try, please let me know, because I'm clearly a sucker for a face mist right now. The last trend that I've been loving feels so off-brand for me. It's ice rolling. I know. I normally steer clear of anything like this, which is why I feel like I need to explain the backstory of how I even got to this point. So let me explain. I was sent these little globes in PR. They are from Kira Moon, and normally when I receive things like this, jade rollers, I just immediately put them in my giveaway pile because I'm like, I just don't have an interest. But for some reason, I was like, maybe I'll just put these in the freezer and try it out one time, see what the hype is about. And one hungover Sunday, I opened my freezer, saw these sitting there. I think I had literally only had 3 glasses of wine. That's where I'm at in life now. 3 glasses of wine, horrible headache. I feel swollen and puffy and gross and dehydrated. So I saw these, picked them up, was like, whatever, let's just try it. It actually feels so nice to apply something cold, ice like this, to the face when you are feeling puffy and swollen and hungover. So I loved it, but I felt like these not cooled down, like got warmer, the opposite of that. I feel like they warmed up really quickly and the cold just didn't last super long. And I also wasn't obsessed with how, I don't know. I just wanted to try an ice roller. I was like, if I love these, maybe I will also really love an ice roller. So after doing some research, I decided to pick this one up from the Skinny Confidential. I feel like I keep seeing this all over social media. I know, eye roll. I was definitely persuaded by Instagram. The reason why I wanted this is because of how huge it is. So I didn't want a super tiny skinny ice roller. I wanted something that covered most of my face when I was using it. And may I just say, this thing is hefty. Like, this is a nice heavy duty product and it stays cold for so long. So this is something that I've actually been really enjoying if I am hungover or if I just want to kind of take a self-care moment in my skincare routine. That doesn't happen often, but when it does, this is something that I like to do. Just, I don't know, it makes me feel nice and it feels really freaking good on my skin. So again, not a product category that you will ever hear me saying is necessary. Never. I will never say that. Come on, you guys know me. But at the same time, I do feel like I've just been having fun making skincare more of an experience and branching out and trying new things and having fun with it in a way that I never used to before. I feel like I used to be so focused on utility only, no frills, no fun. And while there's definitely value to that in building a skincare routine, I think now that I have built my routine and test them out. So we're going to wrap up this video here. Those are all of the trends that I wanted to talk through. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Are you loving any of these trends? Are you not loving any of these trends? Let me know. You will again see some of these products resurface in my favorites video next week because they obviously have been favorites of mine, but stay tuned for that and stay tuned for my next video. It's going to be up in a few days. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell and send my channel